What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some expectations for this upcoming week, what might cause some volatility in the stock price, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off this upcoming week, you do have Wednesday closed due to New Year's. So happy New Year's, everyone, and all the other fun jazz. Aside from that, the only thing to take note of is coming out on Friday. So that's manufacturing data. As I've stated in the past, 50 is that key pivot, so anything above that shows more of an expansionary stage in the broad market. Vice versa, anything below 50 shows more of a contraction, but it has been improving a little bit. So it's been moving up from roughly, I think the low was like 45. So it's been, again, moving higher and higher. Consensus right now is 48.3. So we'll just have to wait and see. But for the most part, it is going to be another technical driven week. There is one thing that is going to be coming out, though, that could directly affect Lucid's stock price, and that is Tesla. So Tesla is going to be unveiling their Q4 numbers. So in the past, whatever happens to Tesla, good, bad, and the ugly, it does trickle down to other EVs. So once again, dependent on their results, you'll see a lot of volatility associated to Lucid as well as Rivian, many other EVs. So we'll just have to wait and see. Last year they did put out on January the 2nd, so on Tuesday. So it is fair to assume that potentially that might be the same case. So maybe on, let's say, Thursday or possibly even Friday. So that's some expectations for that. Aside from that, specific to Lucid, these are some of their events. So as you can kind of see, just more showcasing and whatever, but hopefully they do have more stuff planned, more podcasts, advertising the Gravity, doing some fireside chats, or just for them to put out some actual news itself, just about how the Gravity is better than anticipated and whatever else. So we'll just have to, again, wait and see. The only thing I wanted to bring up as far as recent news that I haven't really covered in a previous video, I just actually came across it. It is a couple days late, so it was announced on Christmas, so on the 25th, but it looks like there was a minor recall for Lucid 358 peers, which it does say that the recall came due to a defect in the vehicle's rear drive unit wiring harness. And this is now, I believe, the third actual recall coming out from AMP2. So they definitely do need to get their stuff together. But of course, I think that's to be anticipated. Even AMP1, when they were really starting to kick off, I think they had quite a few different recalls, nothing significant. A lot of them could just be fixed over the air and stuff like that. So again, this is something to keep in mind. Shorts did increase 1.13 million shares on Friday. So going into this upcoming week, 22.59% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 269.1 million shares overall are being shorted. So once again, dependent on the technicals as well as Tesla unveiling their numbers, just anticipate shorts to be fairly active because not just with Lucid, but across the board, shorts did somewhat awaken on Friday. So again, we'll just have to kind of watch that. But a lot of people at the same time are anticipating more of a continued pullback. And I think a lot of people are just saying that because they don't really know the fundamental reason why the market went down on Friday. Everyone's speculating. Some people are saying it's just profit taking. I myself think it's more psychological. So in reality, if it is psychological, I think it would have just been for that one day and one day only. So potentially trending higher for this upcoming week, especially with the data points that is coming out. Friday is going to cause some volatility, but aside from that, it is going to be more of a technical driven week. And in Lucid's case, that's somewhat a good thing. But going over options, so based on the call options that was done on Friday, you are seeing a consensus for it to be roughly around that $4 range for this upcoming week. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub $3, so a little bit more upside is anticipated based on this right here. With it closing at $3.20, it is trading between this R2 and this R1. So 313 is going to be the following first level of support, 288 and then 264. Flip side, $3.28, and then 352 is going to be that next strong kind of resistance slash target. So Lucid right now, yes, it consolidated a little bit today, but it's definitely not down and out. As of right now, though, it is pretty much resting on that ALMA. So going into this upcoming week, it's going to be a very big deal. So you could be seeing a pullback to arguably that 100 and 200-day moving average, which is sitting at around that 297. 291, and then right below that you have that fib level at 288. So if there is a pullback, I could see that being touched in my opinion, but like I said, with the current technicals and maybe Friday's pullback just being a one-off, I think it is going to just consolidate and then keep on moving higher, because like I've stated, there isn't really any negative data on a macro standpoint to really prompt a pullback. That's just my own opinion, of course. One thing to note though is Lucid has had a very, very nice run, but typically Lucid has had these runs and there hasn't really been much news to prompt it. So I think one big thing that does drive Lucid's stock price is speculation, and right now a lot of people are speculating on partnerships, better than anticipated demand for the Gravity, and if those don't come to fruition, then yeah, you're going to see a little bit of a pullback. And even in Lucid's case, I believe that they do unveil their numbers, like I think it's February or second or third week of January. But let's say Lucid's numbers don't come in line with expectations, especially they've been really hyping up their numbers, saying that they're record numbers and all-time highs. If they do come in subpar, then yeah, anticipate this rally to be really hit. But that isn't going to be coming this week, so we'll kind of talk on that when it comes. But in my opinion, I do see higher highs still coming for Lucid, but regardless, you're going to see a lot of volatility. So let me know your viewpoint. Do you think that Lucid is a squeeze play? I have seen a lot of people still talking on how Lucid is going to squeeze. As I've shared with you, you need 4 things for a squeeze. Best case scenario, of course, but high utilization, a lot of shares being shorted, high cost to borrow, and one thing that Lucid has often enough missed on is a good surprise catalyst. So if they do actually put out some substantial news that isn't planned, then yeah, you could see a little bit more of a bump up. But regardless, we'll just have to wait and see. I think generally this last month has really shown that Lucid is alive, not dead. What a lot of people have been forecasting, saying that Lucid is just going bankrupt and whatever else. So it's good to see Lucid getting some positive attention, some good sentiment, but it does need to really get above a lot of these key resistance points early on in the week just to continue the positive momentum. So if it kind of just stays limbo in this range right here, then I could see somewhat the sentiment getting hit. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. Are you buying? Are you selling? Where do you see things going by the end of the week? And one final thing, pop over to my Patreon where I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolute bangers, so pop over there and take a look. With all that, hopefully everyone's having an amazing weekend thus far. And with that, appreciate all of you watching.